Alright, hello. Ed here, W4EMB. We're going to show you a few of the things that we take with us when we go out to do POTA. Today's December 31st, warm sunny day here. Able to sit here in a t-shirt. This is awesome. The big stick that's in front of you here happens to be my Chelegance MC-750 antenna. I'll cover that first so I can move it out of the way here. But here's where I connect my antenna. Comes with this section here and then a telescopic section. The telescopic section actually has megahertz engraved on the antenna itself, so that you just pull it out to the appropriate setting and you're good to go. There's also a coil that you put in the middle here for when you're going to do 40 meters or 80 meters. The 80 meter coil is an option with the Chelegance MC-750, along with the tripod. The tripod is also an option. Normally it has a ground spike here, but I opted to go ahead and switch over to the tripod. Alright, so that's my main go-to antenna. Another one of my go-to antennas is my homemade in-fed half-wave. So I took a toroid, wrapped it 49:1, put a 100 picofarad capacitor on there, a BNC connector, along with just a wire winder that I bought off Amazon, drilled the appropriate holes, cut about 71 feet of wire, set the antenna up, and then measured it with my analyzer, and then cut some, put it up, measured it, put it up, measured it, and so forth. Just kept cutting until I got it right where I wanted it to be. And that's resonant on 4 bands without a tuner. Okay, so that segues into 2 things for us. Number one's our analyzer. We have 2 analyzers. One we didn't bring with us today is the Rig Expert AA30, and this is the Rig Expert 230, and it's a stick. I love this thing because it's nice and small, rechargeable battery, fits in this case. This case is actually an electric toothbrush case, and it just fits in here perfectly. Normally I'll lay it screen side down, and then also over here to the side it allows me to put my charging cable and any other little adapters that I need for it. And that's the Rig Expert 230 stick. So I love that thing. Comes in very handy. You can just put it right on, hit a button, and it scans for you. Alright, so that covers my analyzer. The other thing that segued into was my tuner. I use the ZM2 ATU, right? It's a Z-match tuner. What's wonderful about this is that you go ahead and hook the tuner up, you put it to operate, and you go ahead and you start moving these knobs until you hear the highest noise. Once you hear the highest noise, then you can go ahead and flip it to tune, press down your key, and watch this LED light. When the LED lights up, then you just adjust these knobs until that light goes out. Once that light goes out, flip it down to operate, and go ahead and hit your key. I always check my SWR again, and then you're good to go. Great tuner. I have 2 of them just because it works so well. Alright, odds and ends. For odds and ends, I have a little 1-to-1 balun. I have some connectors. I got more connectors in the bag. I also have a jumper cable for in between the tuner and the radio. I have an external battery pack that I'll power the camera, charge my phone, things like this. This isn't what I power my radio with, but this is a really good one. It's a 20, I don't have my reading glasses on, 20,000 milliamp hour PD30W power bank. Yeah, made by Tech2, TECH2. Has a USB-C and a USB-A. Has 5 little LED lights that light up. Make that four little lights that light up, but you know how full the battery is. Okay, so antenna wise, again, the Chelegance is my main go-to antenna. My in-fed half-wave is number 2. After that is this one. This is a Triband vertical by QRP guys. So what you have here is a 17-foot vertical radiator and 4 10-foot radials that go out across the ground. And this little green board here, it has a switch on it. 2 switches. You flip both the switches to the left, it gives you 40 meters. You flip one switch to the right, it gives you 30 meters. You switch them both to the right, it gives you 20. So 40, 30, 20 meters. However, I found 20 meters, I don't need a tuner. 40 and 30, I still need a tuner with this. The directions tell you to take the toroid off, take out a wrap, put the toroid back on, but who's going to desolder a toroid off a green board multiple times while you work on that? Not me. I just use the ZM2 tuner and it works great. You notice these little small carabiner-like plastic clips, and I have that on the end of that wire, and I also have one on the end of this wire as well. Okay, and what I love about those, and I'll show you my mast. I have the travel mast. It's about 26 inches when it's collapsed, but it goes up to 33 feet or 32 feet. A couple of modifications I've done. I put a hole in the lid and did that so I quit losing it. This is how I attach my wire to the tip of my pole, and I have a video on this further down in my videos on how to affix a wire antenna to the top of your mast. But I use zip ties, 2 zip ties. One zip tie itself goes around the mast, and the other zip tie is just here. So that way I can take the little carabiner, snap it into that zip tie, and go up with it, and I'll just pull the whole pole, and I'll just walk over and lean it up into the trees. Or I have affixed it right here to my mirror and to my lower roll bar on my van, and while I've been further away. And if I get hung up in the trees, if I just pull down, then that zip tie will come right off, and it won't break anything off as far as my mast goes. And if I have to grab my wire and start yanking my wire, it may or may not break. All right, but at least I didn't break my mast, because then that's a, I got this from Soda Beams, and this one is called the Travel Mast. Soda Beams Travel Mast. Like I say, the Travel Mast because it's the shorter collapsing, like I say, 26 inches. You may see Kilo Mike 6 November sticker on here. That's a joke in my little local group. Whenever we go to our buddy's house, we'll put our call signs on our friends' cool stuff that we would like to have if they ever kick the bucket. And so John got me for my mast here. The other mast that I have that I use for the Triband vertical is called the Carbon 6. Okay, and the Carbon 6, I also have my zip tie contraption in here. Now, one thing that I did do on the Carbon 6 is the very tippy tip section is really flimsy. So I took off the end cap and pulled out section 1 and section 2. And I turned section 1 backwards and put it inside of section 2 the other way. So section 1 is actually in here, but flipped upside down. So that way, to give this a bit more rigidity, and because number 1 is just, it's too flipsy. Matter of fact, I've already broken it. I broke it actually showing somebody on how flexible this was. So my problem was I didn't extend it when I was showing them. But this thing works great. On the front of my van, and you'll see it in other pictures and videos, I have a PVC pipe clamped on the front of my van. And I just drop this right in that pipe, take that little snap link, hook it on my zip tie, throw it right up in the air, put my 4 radials out to the front of the van in the grass. And you can do that at a park. If you get to the park and all the picnic tables are taken, you can actually just look for a parking space that has grass right in front of it and use the Triband vertical with the Soda Beams Carbon 6 mast. This is a great, real lightweight mast. My next goal for me right now, I'm vehicle portable, where I go to parks and set up a picnic tables, or like I am here today at the Haynes Bottom Wildlife Management area. There's no pavilions, no picnic tables. It's a hunting area out there for deer. But I go ahead and just park my van and do my POTA here. This is one of my radios, my go-to radio here. This is the Penntek TR45L. I have a lot of radios at home. And my joke is, if my house caught fire, I would grab this and my dogs and then go back for my wife. This is my favorite radio out of all my radios. And I have a Yaesu DX10, DX10? Yeah, the Yaesu. But this one here, it's great. It's 5 watts CW only. But I tell you what, since I've gone CW, it has completely rejuvenated my ham hobby. So talking about CW, good things to have in your kit. I have my Bamatech TP III key. Right, it's a wonderful key. I have my gap set a little bit wide, so it may sound clicky on that microphone, but I can tighten it up to where it doesn't sound clicky. And when you're using it, you don't hear it anyway. This microphone just amplifies the clicky that you do hear. And something else that's really nice is this 3D printed box. A good friend of mine made it for me, and so it fits my TP3 key and then just slides right in there. So that way, when I pack that in my bag, it keeps my key nice and sturdy. Now, one of my videos I did show how I had a problem with my key, and that was because I was trying to adjust it to take the clicky out. because I knew the clicky was getting into my microphone. It's not bothering me while I'm sending. I just don't want to misrepresent the Bamatech TP III key, because it is a wonderful key, and I didn't want somebody to hear that on that microphone that's amplified and go, oh, that's too clicky for me, because I don't like clicky keys at all. That's distracting. I think it's my downfall. I'll probably never go to a bug because of that. But it absolutely isn't too clicky at all. Again, it's just that microphone amplifies that. And in my video where I had a problem with that key, it's because I tried adjusting it to take that out and I got it too tight, and I was sending a lot of errant dits and dahs. So luckily I was able to have just a backup Amazon $25 little key, little magnet base there. You know, it's not the best key, but it works in a pinch. And of course I like my keys to have a jack on them, so that I can just make sure that I have my male-to-male plug and I can plug into the key itself, because I hate having keys with cords all wrapped up around them. All right, so that covered my primary antennas, and I would say in order of use is the Chelegance, and then the off-center fed, and then of course the Triband vertical. After that, here's one that I've used once, and I haven't done it since. I probably need to revisit this for another video session. If you're interested in seeing this, I got this from Thomas Witherspoon, K4SWL. It's speaker wire split in two. I take this connector right here, and I put one connector in the red, one connector in the black. The one that's in the red, I run it straight up my soda mast, my big mast, up 32 feet. And then the one that was black, I just throw it out on the ground, sound effects included. And with that, of course, I use a tuner. I cut mine to 33 feet. I don't remember why. 32 feet, maybe because for 20 meters. But anyway, I use my tuner, and I can tune this. I use this at a park called Port Royal Park in Clarksville. In the van, some extra stuff that I carry. I do carry a set of wire cutters, a bunch of extra zip ties, big ones and small, tiny ones. I carry a roll of this silicone wire with me in the van, along with this 4-to-1 balun, and I got a few other things in the van that I could switch to. But anyway, that's the table in a nutshell. Well, I'm using my little camping stool, my folding table. And I'll make sure I put links to a lot of this stuff in one of my videos. I'm working on trying to make my videos better. I found an editor finally. I don't like to edit, I just put it up. But I've been getting a few emails to the side about people asking me about call signs for call sign copy practice. They'd like to know the answers to the test, so to speak, so to know if they got it right. Because often I forget to repeat the call sign while I'm doing the video. So my bad on that. But anyway, I'm going to try something new here. This is about it. Well, I'm Ed, W4EMB, sitting out here at Haynes Bottom Wildlife Management Area. And if my lips aren't in sync, that's because some noob went and forgot the SD card to the camera at home in the computer. So I just finished a POTA, and my camera shut off before I finished my POTA, and I didn't know why it shut off. I thought it was because it was hot. So I've changed settings on the camera to try to keep it cooler, but ended up shutting off because I was out of SD card space. And that I couldn't figure out until I realized, oh, some noob forgot the SD card at home. So I filled up the camera's internal memory. Well, I do carry a little bucket of spare SD cards, but as I stuck them in the camera to try to finish my POTA, it kept telling me slow card may stop recording. So I'm just talking to the camera, or it's recording it. I don't know yet. We'll find out when we get home. But anyway, I appreciate any comments and any emails. I'm good on QRZ. I'd like to hear from anybody out of anything else you'd like to see that we do here. But anyway, I'm going to try this remote to see if I can make my camera stop. If not, you're going to see me get up and hit the button. Unless I figure out how to use this editor and I can chop that part out. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Ed, W4EMB, with AA4SB, who's in the van on a phone call. And take it easy. Take two. That's not doing it. Yeah, I don't know how to make this thing work. That'd be really cool if that worked. So I guess you get to see me hit the button. And goodbye.